Welcome to the meeting of the Tahoe Truckee Unified School District Board of Trustees. Today is May 18th, 2022. The board did meet in closed session this evening and did take action in closed session. The board voted to adopt in its entirety a hearing officer's advisory opinion to dismiss a permanent classified employee from the district. So that was our action this evening in closed session. Would everyone please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? And we'll do it silently so that we're not all talking over each other. Ready, begin. Thank you. I haven't quite figured out how to make that smoother, but I appreciate everybody there. Superintendent Geisels, do we have changes to this evening's agenda?
Yes, President Zerg, we have a few changes. The first one is we'd like to pull all together item 14.1, which is a contract that we still need to make some last minute revisions. So we would like to bring it back to you at a future board meeting if that's possible. And then we are replacing two items with revised items. That is item 13.0, the revised job description of the coordinator of district communications and parent engagement. We have a revised latest and greatest version. And we also are providing you with a revised personnel report as well. So those are the three items.
Thank you very much. Okay, would anyone like to move approval of the agenda with those modifications?
I will make them. This is Dee Dee, and I'm fixing my camera after I do this. But I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as it's stated with its corrections.
I'll second.
A roll call, please.
Member Libat?
Aye.
Member Driller?
Aye.
Member Hennessy?
Aye.
Clerk Larson?
Yes.
President Zurek?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next we have a public comment. This is the opportunity for anyone who would like to speak to the board to do so. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes. It's not meant to be an interactive process, but rather our opportunity to hear what folks have to say to us. If for some reason the public comment goes longer than 30 minutes, we will stop at 30 minutes and move the rest to the end of the meeting. So Lupita, do we have anyone for public comment this evening?
No, there's nobody for public comment.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So next we will move on to the Superintendent Chief Learning Officer's district update.
Thank you, President Zurek. I'm so glad that Laura Brown is here with us this evening because this is actually a shout out to some information that she presented or gave to me. So our forest fire program, the book that goes with the program, Who Needs a Forest Fire, has received the Silver Seal Award from Nautilus Book Awards. What this means is this is a category for children's illustrated nonfiction. And this June, this book, Who Needs a Forest Fire, will be displayed at the American Library Association Book Fair in Washington, D.C. with other Nautilus winners. So this is amazing. This is a great accomplishment and a shout out to the authors of this book. And thank you so much for sharing this information, Laura, about that. Also, we're in our final month of school. We're very excited about that. We have graduations coming up. North Tahoe High's graduation is June 9th. Truckee High's graduation is June 11th. Sierra High and Coldstream is June 15th, and Alder Creek and North Tahoe Schools promotions are June 22nd. So we're very excited about that. Also, too, we have, and we're still in the process of employee clearance, but I'm happy to say we have a replacement, a new person that will be taking on the coordinator of instruction and assessment in our Ed Services Department. She's currently working in another district, and as soon as she finishes the new employee process, we would like to have her come to a future board meeting, even if it's virtually, so you can meet her and say hello. We're very excited. She will be replacing Jenny DeWall, who, as you know, will be the principal of Kings Beach. And on top of that, this Saturday, I will be attending the Elementary Parent Academy at Kings Beach. So if you have a chance, please stop by. I believe it starts at 8:30 and it goes to noon. And there's some exciting events happening, and we have a guest speaker as well. And so please join us if you'd like to come. And last but not least, yes, we're in May. Yes, June's almost here. And yes, COVID is still with us. So unfortunately, we have seen a slight uptick in our cases since spring break. So we are hoping that we can appeal to our families and just remind us, we'd like to remind you that please continue to follow and adhere to the COVID safety measures. If your child's not feeling well, if you're a staff member, we know our staff are very diligent about this. If you're not feeling well, and just please stay home and let us know, take a COVID test. We would like to continue in person, and we will, but it's just a small uptick that we're seeing. So we hope, we're still not out of the woods, but we would hope to remind our families, our communities, our students that just to continue to be safe, that you are. And I was at North Tahoe High School yesterday walking around with Miss Mitchell, and she had a lovely signs everywhere all over school saying, "We love you, masked or not." And I think that's what's so nice about visiting the schools, is just the atmosphere of acceptance for students that wear masks and that students that don't. So thank you for continuing to be safe, and hopefully we'll see a drop in our slight uptick. And that's all I have for this evening, President Zurich.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Laura, for letting us know about the wildfire book, Tahoe Turkey Reads, right? And so, yep, so that's amazing. I'm sorry, okay. So next we actually have 3 resolutions, 2 of which have to do with enabling us to collect the Measure AA funds that our community has generously voted on over the years to allow us to have so many of our amazing programs here at the district.
Yes. And we just had our first Measure AA meeting. When was it? Tuesday, Todd, right? So I'm going to have Mr. Rivera present this item to the board.
Thank you. And these are resolutions that we bring to the board annually. There are requirements of Placer County and Nevada County. I'll talk about both of them. 9.1 is simply a resolution that authorizes Placer County to collect our Measure A parcel tax on our behalf. Resolution 9.2 is with Nevada County, and that's essentially authorizing the Superintendent, Chief Learning Officer to sign contracts authorizing Nevada County to collect our parcel tax for us.
Thank you, Todd. Do we have any questions on either? We'll vote separately, but do we have any questions on either of these resolutions? So would someone like to move Resolution 27?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 27, Measure AA for Placer County.
I'll second.
Member Levac,
Aye.
Member Hennessy,
Aye.
Member Driller,
Aye.
Clerk Larson,
Yes.
President Zurich.
Yes.
Thank you.
And then Resolution 28.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 28, the tax collect, let's use just 28.
Is there a second?
Oops, sorry. I'll second.
Member Driller,
Aye.
Member Hennessy,
Aye.
Member Levac,
Aye.
Clerk Larson,
Yes.
President Zurich.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have a resolution authorizing electronic meetings. This would be for the month of June. I will make a statement up front that the board, it's our intention to try to meet in person starting in June, but this is here on the agenda just to give us that what if opportunity if something were to change drastically based on what Superintendent Geisels just talked about with the uptick in cases. So we do have the opportunity to still meet in person on our June 1st meeting. We'll make that call as it gets closer to June 1st. And if we do it it's all or nothing. So if we do it for the June 1st, we'll be in person for June 15th and any other meetings we have that month. So this is on here for our consideration, but just to let the public know, it's our intention to hopefully go back to being in person. So anything else you'd like to say about this, Superintendent Geisel? Sorry.
No, this is just in response to Assembly Bill 361, which allows boards to meet virtually based on, the current situation. And it's just being safe. And again, as you said, we can also resend it and continue to meet in June. So.
Questions from board members? Is there any public comment on this?
No, there's no public comment on this item.
Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 29.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Member Libat,
Aye.
Member Driller,
Aye.
Member Hennessy,
Aye.
Clerk Larson,
Yes.
President Zurich.
Yes.
Thank you.
And just before we move on to the next item, when we were talking about the book earlier, I think we failed to mention the amazing Missy Muller and
Yes.
Swep, who were integral in making that happen.
Right.
So segueing to that, we next are being asked to accept the Excellence in Education Foundation 22-23 Mental Health Grant.
Yes, it is my honor to be able to introduce Mr. Santos, who has been close to this and working with Laura Brown and our Excellence in Education Foundation. And Jeff will do it justice in explaining how exciting this is for us. So, Mr. Santos, if you want to proceed.
Yes, thank you. So those that may not know, this year we piloted a social worker program where our middle schools and high schools have been provided social worker to help parents, students navigate the world of mental health needs and so forth throughout our community. We found huge benefit to this and would like to have that continue. Kim Bradley, who is our wellness manager, who all of you know, does a lot of behind the scenes work to get this up and running, and approached me about the opportunity for Excellence in Education to potentially sponsor and help support this initiative and effort, and really looking at now our elementary level social workers. So Kim and I attended 2 Excellence in Education board meetings, presented our request, and thank you so much to the Excellence in Education Foundation for providing this donation. It's going to go so far helping our youth, helping our young students through the social work program. But I don't want to talk anymore. I'd like to turn it over to Laura Brown, who represents Excellence in Education Foundation as their executive director. And well, I don't know if there's anything you'd like to add from your conversations with us for that.
Well, thank you. And again, we're very excited to be able to support this. And I would also like to introduce Julie Hopkins, who I believe is on the Zoom as well. She is our incoming grants chair and here tonight. I didn't think I was going to be able to join, so she said she'd jump on, but we just want to, I think, acknowledge and thank you as well.
Thank you, Julie. Yes.
Yeah, it was a wonderful presentation, and I appreciated it personally. I know the board really appreciated it because there was just no hesitation in the vote to help fund this, and so we are really honored to help support you guys on this. And we are just so thankful that this district is so on top of our students' mental and social emotional health. So thank you guys for all the work that you do.
And let me just add that the donation, the amazingly generous donation, is for $50,000. So we are so excited and so happy to continue the support. So thank you both, Laura and Julie,
Yes.
for your efforts.
Well, thank you. And again, Jeff, Kim, who I don't believe is on, but just thank you as well for all your advocacy on the student behalf. So
Absolutely.
thank you.
Board questions for any one of our folks? Kirsten?
Okay, so maybe I was unaware, or maybe I was not in town, but I didn't realize that we piloted a program did that start in the beginning of the school year?
Yes, that's correct. So through our ELO/ESSER grant funds, we were able to pilot based on that. Let me go backwards. When we were looking at opportunities and the needs in the district for grant funding through ELO and ESSER, unanimously, our middle schools and high schools were really, in need of a social worker, one that could take some of the work maybe off of our counselors to do more of their academic counseling and day-in-day operationals. And this person could help families and students navigate our community resources. And yeah, so we have a part-time 20-hour week at each site: Alder Creek, North Tahoe High, and Truckee High School. And it's been awesome. Nothing but positives come out of it.
Great. And really what this speaks to is a dramatic shift in the culture of our school attitude towards accessing care, because the counselor's job is to focus on the academic goals of the students, but the word counselor is misleading. And what it does is it puts a double burden on those particular staff members. And in honor of social work practice protects the vulnerable and assists in system navigation. And that's really what they can help our families do, in particular up here, because our systems are so fragmented and are so difficult to access because of our rural healthcare systems. So this is a huge shift. I'm really grateful to see this happen. It's like a 15-year-long dream of mine to finally see this come to life. So thank you so much for the grant, and hopefully the continued support of having staff, site-based social workers. Thank you so much.
Kirsten, go ahead.
With that,
already went. So I believe we have Chris.
Chris wanted, yeah.
Yeah. Julie and Laura, thank you so much for supporting our district the way that you do, and specifically right now for supporting us with this program. Jeff, I'm wondering if you could please say out loud the name of the 3 employees that are doing this, the 3 social workers that are on site, just to acknowledge them, and if there are any parents listening, so that names start to become familiar, please. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that. And yes, my apologies. It would be nice to definitely recognize. So over at Alder Creek, our social worker there, her name is Stacy Stahl. Like I said, she's there 20 hours a week, supporting students and their families. Over at North Tahoe Middle and North Tahoe High School, it's the same person. Her name is Viviana. And Viviana is split between the 2 sites, but located on the North Tahoe High School side. And then over at Truckee High School, we have Andrea Webb, and she is there, like I said, 20 hours a week as well, and doing a great job, all 3 of them.
Thank you. Once again, excellence in education is an integral part of the amazing things that we provide our kids here at the school district. So thank you, Jolie and Laura and the entire board and organization. For all the years I've been associated, it's been a long time, with TTUSD. X and Ed has just been the most amazing partner. I keep thinking about the initial $50,000 that Rob partnered with you guys on for our technology program, and look at where we are. So, and it's one of the things I'm most proud of about our district is our commitment to the social emotional health of our students and our staff. And I think we've been really at the forefront of that. So thank you for helping us. We so much appreciate it. So that being said, unless anybody has an objection, sorry, I have the dog in the background. Would anyone like to make a motion to accept this grant?
I will make a motion to accept this amazing grant that I was hoping Kirsten would do.
Sorry. I couldn't get my finger to the computer fast enough, but thank you, and I will second with honors.
Member Levac?
Aye.
Member Driller?
Aye.
Member Hennessy?
Aye.
Chair Larson?
Yes.
President Zurek.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you for coming to the meeting also. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Okay. Next, we have our consent agenda. So we've pulled 11.1, so we'll talk about that after we deal with the rest of the consent agenda. Do any board members want to pull any other items from the consent agenda? Seeing no one, would anyone like to move approval of the balance of the consent agenda without 11.1?
I'll move to approve the balance of the agenda. My computer's about to blow away, so I'm hanging on tight here.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Member Hennessy,
Aye.
Member Levac,
Aye.
Member Driller,
Dee. I don't have the Dee.
Clerk Larson,
Yes.
President Zurek.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. And Superintendent Geisels, would staff like to address the 11.1?
Yes, Ms. Apatini, if you'd like to address 11.1.
Right. We pulled from the consent agenda a resignation and a hire of one of our employees who is moving to a different position. We were unable to complete the full hiring process before tonight. So we'll bring it forward at another meeting.
So you're asking us to approve the balance of the personnel action report?
Correct. Thank you.
And we've all received that modified. Okay. Any questions from board members on that? Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll move to approve the modified personnel action.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you.
And Peter, before you do roll call on these, I'm just assuming, unless you're telling me that there is no public comment, because we have no public signed up for comment.
Correct. We haven't had any public comment for the rest of the agenda.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So roll call on that item.
Member Levac,
Aye.
Member Hennessy,
Aye.
Member Driller,
Seems like Dee Dee's having some computer issues.
okay, Clerk Larson,
Yes.
Member President Zurek.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, next we have a personnel item, and this is approve revisions to our job description, coordinator of district communications and parent engagement. Superintendent Geisels?
Yes. The initial job description you had had the title change, and we're bringing back the parent engagement piece. And then what was inadvertently left off of the revised description, job description, was serving as a main point of contact for all crisis communication. So we felt it was very important to bring that back as a second revision. So this is why we are presenting to you the revised. We want to make sure that that is included in this very important job description.
Thank you. Questions from the board? Would someone like to make a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the job description with the addition.
Thank you.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Member Hennessy,
Aye.
Member Driller,
Aye. Did it work?
Yes, it worked.
Member Levac,
Aye.
Clerk Larson,
Yes.
President Zurek.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. Next, we are going to move, we pulled 14.1, so move on to 14.2, which is declaring the list of equipment to be surplus.
Yes. Mr. Rivera, would you like to address this item?
Yes, prior to disposing or selling of any district surplus furniture or equipment, the board first needs to designate or declare that equipment or furniture surplus. So that's what we bring to you tonight. It's a list of, after inventorying Alder Creek Middle School and North Tahoe High School, that there's surplus furniture, either damaged or unusable by that school site, and unusable by any of the other school sites in our district. So we're asking you to declare that surplus, and then the next step in the process, once it's declared surplus, is we will post that onto a government auction site where we can sell it to the public.
Questions from the board? Would someone like to make a motion?
I'm back. I'm going to make a motion to approve 14.2.
I'll second.
Member Levac,
Aye.
Member Driller,
Aye.
Member Hennessy,
Aye.
Clerk Larson,
Yes.
President Zurek.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. We're at board comments. I'm going to go across my screen. So Chris, you're up.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see. So Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday, I was asked by Hillary at the North Tahoe High School site if I would come and support the mental health information and education night being held in Spanish for our Spanish-speaking families. I think it is going to be held at Kings Beach Elementary. So I agreed to come and support, and whatever they need, I guess I'll just rise to the occasion. I'm not really sure what I'm going to go do, but I'm going to go do it. And then I attended the annual, which was awesome because it hasn't been happening over the last couple of years. The 40s night, which is for the jazz band at North Tahoe High School. They do an event at the North Tahoe Event Center every year, and it was fabulous. The music was amazing, but the most important part of that, it was Mr. Norby's goodbye. As we know, he's retiring, and so he got a standing ovation from the kids, from the parents. It was beautiful to watch, and he acknowledged all his coworkers and the district and his wife. It was really sweet, but it was good to be back in that mode with all of those families celebrating that. And then I did go to the Truckee High School play that they've been doing, and I saw Miss Melanie there, and it was a good play. It was short, and they intertwined into all of their scenes something about connection, how COVID had pretty much, pardon my French, screwed the kids over. And so they would say something about their overcoming, and then they would present a song from a play that they were robbed of over the last couple years. So it was beautifully put together. It was totally worth going. It was just touching, and the part that was most important was to hear how they were perceiving the last 2 years. And they were just little snippets to introduce the next song, but it was well done. And then as a parent, but also as a supporter of Boys and Girls Club, I attended their national conference. My daughter was invited to come sing, so proud mama moment. But one of 9 national acts out of hundreds of videos sent in. So it was wonderful to go with her and support her, and also support the Boys and Girls Club staff, which is just amazing. All those men and women that work there are so great for our kids. So it's kind of a dual role there. But yeah, that's it. And I look forward to updating you all about Tuesday's mental health piece. It kind of goes with tonight's agenda. So I'm excited to see that the Spanish-speaking community is very singled out in that education piece, because I feel like it's a taboo subject. And I also feel like the kids might be going into wellness centers and whatnot, but it'll give the parents an idea of what's happening at our schools, I feel. That's all I have. Thank you.
That sounds really cool, Chris. Thank you for doing that. Kirsten?
Well, I just wanted to thank Missy Moeller. Oh, we're having some dogs barking here. I just wanted to thank Missy Moeller and the SWEP program for applying for and receiving scholarship funding for the president of the Envirolution team to attend the Bioneers Conference in San Francisco at the Palace of Fine Arts. My daughter got to participate in that last weekend, and she said it was a fantastic, absolutely mind-blowing experience. And the whole purpose of the conference is to discover breakthrough solutions for the people and the planet. And it was a 3-day-long conference. Actually, the first night, Thursday night, they had a dinner specifically for the student scholarship winners and honored all of them. So they all got to be up on stage and made a big deal out of. So thank you, Missy, for that wonderful opportunity and your continued work with the SWEP program and the Envirolution Club.
Sorry, I was muted. Galen?
Let's see, my daughter and her husband are coming to live with us next week. Starting next week. They'll be here until they find a house that they can buy. They've already sold their house in Arizona. So it's kind of mixed trepidations having 4 more people in the house. But it'll explain some of my behavior. She's immunocompromised, has cancer. And so we get extra hyper concerned about ourselves being exposed. And so if I continue to act strange like that, that's why.
We don't think you act strangely, Galen. Dee Dee.
Galen, you're not strange. And you're so lucky that they're coming. That's fun. I went to the jazz concert with Chris as well, and it was really fun to be back. And again, it's great. It was awesome. I think there's something going on tonight, so I do have to tell the band teams in the future they can't have their shows on Wednesdays so that we miss them. And then the other night, I did go to the Tahoe Lake Elementary School's PTO meeting just to sort of check in and see what they're doing. And they're making some amazing plans for the end of the year, just with all the festivities. And talking to Stephanie, she did say that there is something happening every day this week in some class, every day for the rest of the year. In some class, there's something happening, from wild adventures to going on a trip to some field day. And their PTO is really, really involved, which is really fun. It was good to see them again. And then I actually have been recruited to go to A+. They didn't have any teachers for the month. And since I'm certified and not working, I have been stepping in to do daycare so that they didn't close, because they were going to close. So, or they would have to close because they didn't have any staff. So I've been actually hanging out with small children every day. 8 to 5 is a long day. And that's me.
Thanks, Dee Dee. And I've been out of town, so haven't really experienced much, although I guess personalizing it. I do know 2 graduates of TTUSD, one from North Tahoe, one from Truckee High, who graduated from medical school at UC Davis on the 13th of May. So congratulations to those 2 graduates. Just fun watching what our TTUSD students can accomplish. It's pretty amazing stuff. They're both moving on to their residency, so yay for them. And I'm sure there's lots more examples like that. Just happen to know about that one. So with that, we'll adjourn to our next meeting, which is June 1st. Thanks
so much, you guys.
Your evening.
Sorry about my camera.